the meeting is now being recorded. So Dr. Hall, if you wanted to go ahead and get started. And I believe you're on mute, Dr. Hall.
How many times do we need to be told that? It's just such a, it's such a part of our world now. But yeah, over and over again. Okay, so let me go ahead and screen share, and then I'm just gonna talk about a couple of different things. Hopefully not take up too much time. But the main thing is here is that, like, I think when you're thinking about like what you want to do, and I hate to say it, but with the rest of your life, which you're never going to make that decision, it's like always this thing that you're kind of making moment to moment, is that I think it's really important to think about like what are the places that you like to be in. And I say this a lot, but it's just like if you like to be in a hospital, then maybe a medical career is a great choice for you. And if you hate to be in a hospital, then that would probably be a bad idea. So if you like to be in a lab, if you like to be in a classroom, if you like to be outside, it's like, you know, a lot of times we're kind of pushed into this choice of like, how much money do you want to make and how can I make the most money? But probably the more important choice is like, who do I want to hang around with? What do I want to talk about, and where do I want to be? Are kind of the more important choices. So that to say that also, no matter where you are and no matter where you want to be, there's environmental issues that are going to be important in no matter what work you choose to do. So the BA currently right now in interdisciplinary studies and has a concentration in environmental studies. It's moving right now to just be as a concentration independent in environmental studies, but it's through the College of Arts and Humanities. And that is just to differentiate from hopefully what Cheyenne's going to talk about, which is that there are some students who are really interested in like the hard science of things, who want to be in the lab, who want to, you know, take physics and chemistry and calculus, and to say that there are many, many different ways that you can participate with environmental studies. And if you want to do it in hard science, then the physical science is a better route. And I say this because I came into my undergraduate as a geologist and took all of those classes. But also there's so much work to be done, especially at this time, that's really, really important, that needs to involve everybody. And it needs to involve everybody, not just people who are going to be doing physics and calculus and chemistry. So we're a really good option for that. So environmental studies is more of a social science aspect. We're in arts and humanities again. Just to kind of click through this, like we have just the basic requirements that everybody else does. You have to have so many units in different categories. That's just kind of standard. But particularly for us, then our major for environmental studies is basically 21 units, and our minor is 15 units. So it's 7 classes for the major, 5 classes for the minor. And it's a really good minor, I think, to put with almost anything, where we have a lot of business majors who are like, they want to go into business, but they want to be sustainable. They want to like have some idea of like how to be making money in a sustainable, responsible way. So we have a lot of double majors. You can also double major in, and because we try to make things where it's good enough to be able to like easily double major, you can, but you can easily minor. And so it's just like you can combine it with a lot of different things. So with our classes then, we have lots of different classes. They're pretty much discussing a lot of terrible things that are happening. So sometimes they're not super fun. Hopefully they're fun, but we try to be interactive with it. We try to be proactive with it. But we talk about a lot of serious issues. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that needs to be addressed. There's a lot of work to be done. We kind of dig into all that and hopefully do our best to make it as engaging as possible, but really to be like for our generation, for the generations to come, it's about doing the work, and there's just so much work to be done. And if you're drawn to do that work, then we're here to support you in whatever way possible. You can, you know, go into government after this. There's a lot of state and local government stuff. There's a lot of nonprofits. There's a lot of for-profits. I mean, it kind of just applies to everything in our world as we move forward. So if you're interested in environmental studies as a major or a minor, again, you can double major, then let me know and I will be available, and I'll put my information in the chat box. And then otherwise, I really, really hope at sometime in the near future, it's not going to be in the spring, but maybe the fall, that we can actually go out and physically do stuff again, because it's all about our physical environment, engaging with our physical environment, and that's the most important thing. So let me know if you have any questions, and otherwise, then that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hall. So Dr. Chetri, you may go ahead and unmute yourself and describe what it is the Earth Science Department's about, and geography.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Praveen Chetri. So I am one of the faculty in Department of Earth Science and Geography. So today I will discuss like what type of courses we offer and where you can go with Earth Science or Geography degree. So if you are like enjoy outdoor environment, for example, if you would like to know how old this tree is, how this mountain formed, or where this snow will go after melting, that's basically then the Earth Science and Geography is for you. So beside this, like if you enjoy like fundamental understanding of Earth and natural environment, like if you want to know like why these rivers are here, why that Bristol cone pine is growing there, and what will happen if there will be a flash flood, and how to protect this environment. If you all want to know about this, then probably Earth Science and Geography is a correct field for you. And then we have also a lot of career possibilities in geoscience field, environmental science field, regional and urban planning. So a lot of the areas actually you can go with Earth Science and Geography degree. Particularly if you enjoy like science topic like Earth Science, biogeography, or environmental science, then this is a right degree for you. Also, if you want to work in environmental sector, and also if you are interested to know where are the natural resources. So recently, I think last week, our California governor mentioned that they want to increase a protected area in California by 30%. So do you want to know where those protected area, next protected area can be? Then probably Earth Science and Geography degree is for you. So with the Geography and Earth Science degree, you can actually go to a lot of field, especially if you are interested in urban environment, then you can find a job in regional and as a city planner with Geography degree, Earth Science degree, park manager. And if you are interested in lab-based computer programs such as GIS, if you are interested in environmental consultancy, or if you enjoy making maps, then probably you can focus on urban related environment, and you can take a lot of courses related to the urban environment, and you can work in this various field I highlighted on your left side.
Welcome back.
And then if you are interested in natural environment, for example, if you want to work as a geologist, environmental geologist, if you want to work in water industries or water supply industries, like if you want to work as a hydrologist, right? If you want to work as a park ranger or park researcher, or any state park, national park officers, then probably the natural environment related fields, you can select some courses where you can find that you can select this natural environment related jobs for you. And with Geography and in Earth Science degree, so there are a lot of listed agencies, for example, soil conservation, environmental quality related organization. We also have federal agencies such as EPA, United States Geological Survey, Fish and Wildlife, agriculture agencies, so where you can actually find a job related to geography and earth science. So we have two programs in our department. One is BA in geography and other is BS in earth science. So, and basically within this course, most of the GE requirements are basically whatever the GE requirement with all of your majors. But if you want to do a major in geography, so there are certain courses you have to take. And if you want to do a science degree, so there are certain courses you have to take. So most of these courses are categorized into environmental policy area. For example, if you want to know more about environmental analysis and planning, urban environmental geography, so there are courses you can take. And also there are some applied courses we offered, such as GIS, Geographic Information System, remote sensing. If you are interested to make a map, any map, it can be water quality map, soil pollution map, so then you can take a cartography and make yourself aware about like how to make this map. If you are want to focus on more natural related courses or nature environment related courses, then we have environmental geology, river and streams, weather, climate, natural resources, so biogeography. So actually wide varieties of courses you can take in this as a geography major, BS major or minor. The important thing, it doesn't matter whether you graduate as a geography major, graduate as a earth science major, even a major as a like environmental studies or any other field like chemistry, math, physics, biology. If you want to go to a green field, then definitely there are certain actually technology-based courses or applied courses I highly recommend. Without these courses, you can find a job, but if you have some hand-on experience with cartography, field mapping, GIS, remote sensing, then actually you are making a lot of your task easier, because these technologies we applied everywhere, every field. You can name it, and I can give you an example. So if you are going with this course, actually you put yourself in a little bit of advantage in compared to the other people. And beside these courses, so there are certain minor things, there are certain things you can do. For example, Dr. Hall mentioned urban farming. You can do internship there. You can get some hand-on experience there. We have Office of Sustainability and a lot of other opportunities within campus, like research. So those are the extra things that you make sellable in the market. So it doesn't matter how many courses you take. So beside these courses, good GPA. Also, it's matter like how many outside field experience you have related to the environmental studies, environmental science, earth science, geography, sustainability. And in our department, we have actually a very diverse group of faculty teaching from hydrology, expertise in hydrology, human geography, environmental policies, urban environment, biogeography. Then we have geologists. Also, actually, we have very good support from part-time faculty. And this part-time faculty are actually already have experience of working in this environmental field. So if you are interested, so yeah, please feel free to contact me. So we also have our Instagram page, Twitter page. You can check what our students are doing, what type of activities they are doing. So this will also give you an idea actually whether these degrees are for you or not. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Chetri. That was very informative. Up next, Professor Cummings, you may go ahead and start speaking.
Sorry about that earlier, but can you also let me share screen, or actually I can share screen. There we go. I got it. If it lets me. There we go. I'm on the wrong side. So we have at Dominguez Hills, one of a few master's programs is the Environmental Science Master's Program. This was designed about 15 years ago, really to try to create a program for students who wanted to receive a master's in sciences, but those programs didn't have a master's program. And so with that, our program is actually non-departmental, really. It doesn't have a housing. However, currently it's mainly managed by the Environmental, Earth and Geography Sciences, whereas also we do work with Jenny Hall and Ellie. So there is quite a bit of cross communication through departments. We meet with the biology, the chemistry, the geology, earth science, environmental science, and a few other smaller programs as well, such as political, social, or psychological type sciences. Now, you might be scared because the master's in science, you're thinking, I'm not a sciencey person, but that shouldn't be the main thing that scares you away. The idea is that our program is designed to meet the needs of the student, which is to cover the different fields of environmental science. So currently we have students representing sociological backgrounds. We have the actual hard science where we have laboratory type settings. And then we also have the field settings where you're out collecting data. With that, there's a few basic things. You have to have a BS or BA in a related field, which is related to environmental science. And then from there, you need a few classes that will prep you for the master's program, such as you'll need to have a few classes in laboratory-based science, as well as a statistics class. Beyond that, though, there's not much of a requirement as far as classes are required. So you can be a psychology or sociology or an environmental studies major and still apply for the master's program. And from there, as far as our program goes, there's only a few main courses that everyone's required to take. And as you can see down here in the required courses, they vary from anthropology, biology, geology, and the environmental sciences. So this is a large breadth of coursework, which means you may not have had a background in that, and we understand that when you come into the program. But we also allow students to then curtail their program to their needs. So if you want to go into work with social justice, maybe environmental justice, or working with food deserts, or maybe you want to work on the social impacts of a factory in your neighborhood, these are things that you can learn about and work on in our program. And so with that, beyond the required courses and then your chosen electives, which there is a list here, as you can see on the screen, and a few others that you can choose from, as well as other universities that you can get those classes counted from. But we have two options for our program. And so what a lot of people get scared away from master's programs with is having to produce a internship. Having to have that large manuscript is sometimes something that people are afraid they are not capable of doing. And we understand that the majority of students aren't actually going into research. And so with that, we developed in our program both a thesis track, which is if you want to go off and get a PhD, you want to go into the education, the research field, you would want to do that thesis track. Alternatively, you can also do what we call the professional track, or internship driven. This is going to be heavily working in the field to gain the skills necessary for the jobs you plan on going into for the future. And so this would be what most students will come into, and if they choose to, when they submit their letter, they can specify that they are interested in doing research towards getting a PhD in the future, and then we can work with you on that as well. If you have further questions about the program, you are welcome to visit our webpage at csudh.edu/MSES for Masters in Environmental Science. And I will put that in the chat window, if I can find the chat window. There we go. So you can email me at my email address, which is CCUMMINGS, so ccummings @csudh.edu. And that is in the chat window. And again, we work with professors like Jenny Hall, Dr. Chetri, Dr. Hall, Dr. Sinha, who's in the Earth Science program. And we've had students that have worked with a few others in our Earth Science and Geography, as well as a few in the biology program. One of our colleagues who was retired, John Tomlinson. Dr. Tomlinson was head of biology for quite a while and helped really start the sustainability movement here at Dominguez Hills. So with that, I will turn it back over to Scarlett, and please feel free to reach out to me via email if you have questions about the master's program.
All right, thank you, Professor Cummings. Thank you all the professors who shared such great information regarding your field. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have the panelists introduce themselves. So we're gonna go in this order. So I'm gonna have Holly Justin, Sasha, and then Michael introduce yourselves. And once you guys introduce yourselves, I'm going to ask you guys each individual questions. Once I ask you guys your individual questions, we're going to go into the general questions that you're all going to answer. So with that being said, Holly, I'm going to have you go first. So go ahead and introduce yourself. I think you're muted. Let's see. Let me unmute you.
All right, now, can you hear me?
You're fine.
Okay, cool. Hi, my name's Holly, and I am a graduate of the Master's in Science Environmental program, and it's been really good. Right now, I am taking a quick break. I work for NOAA. I'm making some ocean acidification experiment bags for the local 4th and 5th graders here. So I'm working with AmeriCorps and NOAA, and really happy about that. Good to be here. Thank you. I know I can't stay for long, so sorry. And if anyone needs to email me, I'll put my email out there. Very happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Holly. Justin?
Hey, I'm Justin. I'm currently a student in the MS Environmental Science program. I'm from Carson. I went to Carson High School, graduated in 2014. I had the opportunity to go to a private liberal arts college in Michigan through a scholarship called the Fosse Scholarship. I studied biology with the intention of wanting to get into the medical field. So I took like all the hard lab courses like chemistry, physics and stuff, and organic chemistry. But after I was unsure about my career pipeline after graduating, I decided to take a year and do AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps Vista to be specific, and I worked with high school students from 9th to 12th grade in under-supported communities, and I helped them get into prestigious schools. I work as kind of like an academic coach. And yeah, and I'm sure Scarlett can tell you, but one of the cool things about doing AmeriCorps is the possibility of getting a grant that allows you to have financial aid for graduate school, which in my case happened. So I had the opportunity to get part of my grad school here at Dominguez Hills paid for by my AmeriCorps service. And now I'm in my 2nd year, and yeah, I'm diving into courses that are offered by Dr. Chetri, Professor Cummings, and yeah, still don't know what the future holds, but I'm just taking it day by day. So yeah, I'm here for any questions or anything you guys have.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing, Justin. Sasha, I'll have you go next.
Hi, I'm Sasha, and I just graduated with my BS in biology with a concentration in ecology and environmental biology in May. And I used to be the native plant intern on campus with the Office of Sustainability, working with Scarlett and Justin and Holly. And in a few weeks, I'm starting a position with the National Park Service at the Grand Canyon. And this is also eligible for the AmeriCorps Education Award that Justin was just talking about.
Thank you for sharing, Sasha. Michael, go ahead and share.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, my name is Mike Mazur. I am CEO of a green company, Three Phases Renewables. We buy and sell green electricity in California and Oregon since 2000. We located here in El Ziganda, not too far from you. I graduated my MBA class in 2000 and using these skills till now. We're shipping a lot of electricity, buying from all parts of California where the sun is shining, from Barstow, from high desert, buying wind power from Tehachapi area and Palm Springs. We buy also geothermal power from geysers and biomass from landfill where they're flaring the gas. We convert this to electricity and sell it to people in California, like everybody, like you, me, businesses, schools, high-tech companies on daily basis since 2000.
Wow, that is amazing. That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Michael. So first question is gonna go to Holly. So you live in Washington. That is awesome. Did you have to do anything special after you moved out of state to find the job you wanted, or build up a professional network, given that you were in a new city?
So, no, I didn't. I was applying to a lot of positions in this state before I graduated, but didn't have really any luck. And I thought a lot of that had to do with like my address. So I moved here and rolled the dice, and it worked. And I got a lot of interviews, and they all went well once I did the address change. And this was at the start of COVID too, so I had really low hopes. But then I got 2 jobs. I got the fish and wildlife job, which I worked as a fish checker or a scientific technician too during the summer, and that was great. And I really liked that, but it was only a summer thing. And then this AmeriCorps NOAA stuff started in September, right when the other one ended, and it's really good. And I'm meeting a lot of people now and networking, and I know that's going to help me in the future. I've been directed to a lot of other possibilities, but no, I didn't really need any. I had other references, like Ellie was really helpful, thank you. And I know I put Professor Cummings on there too, thank you. And it worked fine. I just believed in myself, I guess. And that's it.
Aw, thank you. So next question is to Justin. So Justin, what was the application process when you were applying for the master's program at Dominguez?
It took a kind of a lot of research. Most of it was on my own on the Dominguez Hills website. I had to apply through the CSU website, I think. I'm trying to remember back because it feels like ages ago, but yeah, the CSU apply website. I got in contact with Dr. Sinha and Professor Cummings just to make sure that I turned everything in by the deadlines. One thing I like about the program, and all other master's programs are leaning this way, but the grad school test isn't a requirement for this program. But I heard that a lot of other programs are doing that as well. So that was something that I liked. And it's down the street from me. I live down Avalon, so.
And we'll go ahead and have Sasha. So how did you find your job with AmeriCorps?
Yeah, so my position is as a vegetation management member with the National Park Service at the Grand Canyon. However, I applied through ACE EPIC, which is like a conservation organization looking to get students experience. And I actually found the job on a posting on the Texas A&M job board. And then that sent me to the ACE EPIC page, and that's where I applied.
Awesome. Thank you. And Michael, so you were the CEO of a company. That is awesome. So like, what were the steps that you took, to start your own company? Like, what made you want to start your own company?
It was quite some time back when I started moonlighting while working for big corporation. I was working for Raytheon, and I went to business school in Cal State Dominguez Hills. I started sensing opportunities around me. My friends, relatives had some businesses, but I could not explain some basics. How these gas stations in the corner stay in business, simultaneously offering the same products. I was bothered how, and that's why I found my answer. Went to business school and learned fundamentals. I pulled $25,000 from my 401 corporate 401 plan and started my own adventure, like many Americans out of garage.
Wow, that is so cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and so in the order that you guys went in and answering your questions. So these are open-ended questions for all the panelists. So the first question is, what was something that stuck with you that you learned at Dominguez Hills that has helped you in your professional life, such as job seeking, and like what resources or experiences did you find most valuable as an undergraduate or a graduate student that you recommend to students to take advantage of now that they have the time and chance to?
To take the initiative to research and explore your opportunities and where you want to go, what you really want to do, where you want to be.
For sure. Justin?
Yeah, I'd agree. Coming from a biology background to environmental science master's program now, it took me a second to realize that I could do this. You know, like it's not necessarily the same course of study, but I had like all the soft skills, so like recognizing all the soft skills that you have from past experiences, taking initiative, like Holly said, and reaching out to your Dominguez Hills community. Oftentimes, the dream job, or you're like 1 degree away or 2 degrees away from like your dream job or your dream career, and that all that takes is like a matter of reaching out to the right professor or the right resource, like the Office of Sustainability, and you don't have to go out looking, or like before you go out looking on like your Google pages randomly and stuff. Like you should know that you have more leverage as a Dominguez Hill student with someone who is more like closely tied to the school. So make sure you like use all the resources available to you at school and recognize your soft skills for why you might be like best suited for that.
Yeah, I would say if it's possible, try to take classes outside of your major. It'll introduce you to new people and new ideas and can really help round out an application. Like for example, as a biology major, you don't have to take a GIS course, but I took cartography in my last semester of undergrad, and having those basic mapping skills really helped me get my current position. Also, to what Justin was saying, networking is super important. So make sure to go out and talk to your professors and other people and make those connections. I ended up with my position as the native plant intern on campus after talking to a guy in my volleyball class. So you never know where or how you're going to find these opportunities. So go out and try.
Michael, do you have what is your response to
Yeah,
that?
so it's very interesting. I was shocked by my ability to access to education, technology, and flexibility. At the school, I found these courses and I took them on the weekend and after hours. I was keeping my full. I was really impressed with this accessibility and also time to do that. You need to find time to do that and keep yourself motivated. Education is pretty much, I learned that back in my country where I come from. Education is your weapon. You need to master it. And I've faced opportunities and challenges with understanding the American system with all these credits and double major and triple this and double that. It was very difficult for me. However, education is education, and it helped me in my career outside of United States and in United States. Regardless where your knowledge, it will propel you to success. Now even I'm learning every day. I'm learning Spanish, I'm learning photography, I'm learning dancing, I'm learning every day. I just learned, by the way, that one picture was posted before by your professors showing a tree, and I recognized that at the Bristol pine tree. It's the oldest tree in the world, actually, in the Earth, in the planet. It lives about 5,000 years. I learned that 2 weeks ago. I visited that place in East Sierra. I took some great shots of that tree at night and sunset. So I was enjoying still learning a lot of stuff. That's kind of my short response to your question.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So next question here. So do you have any advice or approaches you took when applying for jobs or degree programs to help make your application stand out?
I was in the first year it was open. So I was trying to figure out what the program was and how to go with it, and that, like, what was available, what opportunities were there. Doctors were helpful with helping me with my graduate research and doing that route. And I wasn't very interested in the research. I liked the work aspect part of it. So that was perfect that someone was able to help me with that part that I was falling short with. And it was an open opportunity. So whatever opportunities are open, go with them. Like open doors are good to go through.
Awesome.
Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Yeah. So, do you have any advice or approaches you took when applying for either your job or your degree programs to help make your application stand out?
Well, I can speak on applying to this program. I know that it's not as well advertised as other bigger schools are, and if it weren't for the fact that I lived in Carson, I probably wouldn't have known about even looking at Dominguez Hills as an option for a graduate school. But yeah, just constant research, I would say. Reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. Make yourself known, whether that be after turning in a job application, like go on LinkedIn and then add them as a friend, and send whoever your potential employer would be an email or something. And like if you actually have, most of the time you actually have interest about the position or something, so actually just reach out and prove that you're not like a robot, and just like be human. Would be, I think, my best advice. Yeah.
Thank you. Sasha?
Yeah, in general for job applications, I would say you need to tailor yourself to each specific job you're applying to. Yeah, it's super annoying to have to rewrite cover letters for different jobs, but generic CVs and letters of interest are not going to get you noticed. So, and also just ask for help. Like I've had multiple professors and friends look over my CV and my personal statements and have received really great feedback for how to improve them. So again, talk to people.
I can add to this. I would say make green jobs part of your mission and passion. The next time you go to the beach or desert or mountain, imagine you are the only one there. Look around and answer to yourself, what did you do to preserve the beauty of this planet? I'm glad I have an answer. I do work for you every day. It makes me moving.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. So, next question here. So what advice do you guys have for students who don't know what they want to do after graduation?
To keep trying new things. If you don't know what you want to do to graduate, take some more classes, explore different fields. Yeah, try a lot of new things. You'll find something, and maybe just finding a place you're happy with too. That's a lot to be said. That's all.
Thank you. Justin?
Yeah, I would say before, well, I'm gonna give my answer, but before I graduated, this answer definitely would not have come out of me, because I come from like a first generation. I'm first generation, and my parents, immigrated here, and they're so used to the idea that school is like a vocational type of like setup. Like you go for school for a trade, and then you get the trade and like that you went to school for. And it's very like solid pipeline from school to career, right? But I learned that that's definitely like something in recent times. And yeah, just to go along with what Holly said, you just try new things. Realize that you shouldn't, like comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to other people. And just don't be afraid to try new things. Things happen when they happen. You're still so young, and yeah, just keep your opportunity, or your like curiosity up, and just be open to opportunities, I would say.
Yeah, very similar to Justin and Holly, I would say don't stress if you don't have a specific plan for right after graduation, but also be proactive. Last fall, I knew I didn't want to go straight into graduate school and I wanted to take a year off to work and see what I enjoy doing. So my advice is to go out and apply for different positions all over because eventually something's going to work out and it'll help influence your future decisions. whether that's, wow, I really hated doing that, or no, I actually really enjoyed that. So be open to experience and don't let yourself get discouraged when things don't work out.
Yeah, my advice would be follow your heart, your passion. There are unlimited opportunities around you, and the time will come, and don't go for the first valuable job. Follow your heart.
Thank you, guys. So next question. When you landed your interviews for your respective jobs, what did you do to prepare? And for you, Michael, I guess the question would be rephrased to you would be like, since you know you are the CEO, like what are the techniques or what is it that you look for when you're hiring people? So Holly, you may go ahead.
It depends on what the job was. So for the fish and wildlife job, I researched the watershed around here and the different salmonid species because I was specifically dealing with salmon and how to correctly pronounce the words. For the NOAA job, it was about teaching, and for the second interview, I had to put together a lesson. So I spent some time researching what they do and their focus is, and it was about whales. So I designed a lesson that was specific to whales, and that worked really well. I always do a lot of research on the company. I've never not gotten in. If I've ever interviewed, I've always gotten the job, and I always do a lot of research. So I would think those are important.
Cool.
I'd like to, yeah, I just kind of would agree with. I always do research beforehand. You never go in cold. I mean, anxiety is sure to happen to some extent, but controlling it obviously and your stress would work towards your benefit. Yeah, just be sure to market yourself correctly. Speak on your experiences. All this time before the interview, you were building career capital. So just, I don't know, leverage that, and I think you'd be fine, right?
Yeah, so for me, the interview process was pretty standard. I don't remember having any trick questions, but to prepare, I looked over the job description, and when they asked about relevant experience, I would try to use their words to describe projects that I had worked on. And also just always have a couple questions to ask at the end. It can be general or specific, but it just makes you look more prepared and interested in the position that you're applying.
So a couple of things I want to follow and add. Come on time. I'm kind of looking from the other side of this picture. Enjoy yourself. Be who you are. People across the table always appreciate your education, not possibly your accent or non-perfect English. They look for other qualities which you have and possess. That's what you need to demonstrate in a very short period of time. In the first probably 10 minutes, you need to win. If you don't, you'll probably look for another place. But that's what my message, focus and sell yourself at your best.
Perfect, thank you. So next question would be, how did you cultivate your references, and do you think they influence your ultimate, you ultimately being extended a job offer?
For my references, it was people that helped me along the way and that knew what I was trying to achieve. I'm not sure what my references were asked. I never found out anything about that, but everything worked out well. So I think it went well. I never sought anyone out as a recommendation, though. It was always like afterthoughts. I never tried to use anyone for a recommendation. It was more like, oh, we've been working together for a few years now. Would you write something about me? And that worked out really well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think using anyone for a recommendation is ever a good path to take. Yeah, everything he said sounds like exactly what I would say.
Yeah, references are super important. You should have at least 3 or 5 people in mind to, write a compelling letter for you. I was pretty close with a lot of my biology professors and a few supervisors from different jobs and internships. So I was very fortunate to have multiple people that I know that I can ask for a letter of rec. So definitely try to keep that in mind as you're going through your classes and your work.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't have any references and I didn't rely on them. I had to build everything from scratch here. I would suggest do not rely on references, rely on yourself. References is just part of due diligence process on both sides, but that's not something which a winning factor in your career. So I had experience to share too much references.
All right, thank you, everybody. So this is the last question. Do you have any final pieces of advice for students in the audience that might be interested in pursuing a green job or a graduate program in the future?
What was that last part? Sorry, you cut out.
Oh, it's okay. Do you have any final pieces of advice for students in the audience that might be interested in pursuing a green job or a graduate program in the future?
Oh, yes, definitely. To keep exploring, seeing what's out there, go on trips, expand your horizons, and if there's an open door, take it, go through it, and don't be afraid to look other places. I'm very happy that I left California.
Yeah, I agree. And then to add to that, I think that the future of the majority of jobs is going to be green related or green, like 100% green. And I wholeheartedly believe that. It's part of the reason why I chose environmental science as a master's program. I know there's like a lot of like hearsay and stuff like that now, but I think that if you decide to do a green, like if you decide to pursue a green job, you will be needed in some capacity in the coming years. And yeah, just keep it going. Realize that, you know, green like studies and everything is here to stay, and it's only going to grow, and be like add to like our daily lives at work and stuff. So yeah, future of jobs is green. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities out there. You just need to go out and find them or make them for yourself. The Student Conservation Association is a great place to find access to numerous conservation-related positions, and so is ACE Epic and Texas A&M. So I highly recommend looking for these positions on these websites and going out there and trying to find some green jobs.
Yeah, I would probably repeat myself by saying make green jobs part of your mission and your passion. That green field will be growing. New generations is looking for new jobs which bring greenness, cleanness, sustainability. We see a lot of interest from the marketplace, from job applicants. They're looking for more than just salaries and day-to-day things. Like we offer, for example, our employees a lot of good stuff in the office. Our office green, like lead award from Green Building Council. We have solar panels on our roof. We have no gas in our building. We have a lot of cool stuff which make people want to come and do the job. And the final word I would say, stay hungry. I'm rephrasing Steve Jobs from Apple in this situation. I always keep that in mind. You need to stay open, hungry, open for opportunities and go to enjoy it.
Thank you so much to all the panelists and the professors who attended here today and shared your experiences and your advice for, you know, students who may not know what they want to do after graduation. I really appreciate that. So with that being said, before we jump into our opportunity drawing, Ellie does have a little announcement for you guys.
I do. And by the way, hi to Holly and Sasha. It's so good to see you again. So actually Holly and Sasha, and actually Justin is currently interning with me. And I helped write the recommendation. So I'm so glad that they ended up in great careers that they were able to share with you today. And Michael, great to see you too. I know we've connected before. But just as a thank you to the panelists, normally we would be in person so we could physically give you something. Since obviously we're via Zoom, we're actually giving you a virtual present today. So in your honor, we're actually planting a brand new fruit tree in our Earth Day grove. So per request, I think Justin wanted apricot, but we'll see what's available. So I just wanted to let you know that we do have your legacy planted in the next couple of weeks. So thank you so much for participating in the panel today. We look forward to the rest of the Q&A from the students in the audience as well. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Ellie. So Brittany, wherever you may be, Brittany's gonna go ahead and do the drawing for the opportunity drawing, and that is gonna be for a zero waste kit. So Brittany, take it on.
Hi there, everyone. I am taking all of the names from the participants and I'm entering them into a random number generator. Let's see what we get. Okay, so 7, and then I'm gonna go to my Excel sheet. And the winner is Emily Rodriguez.
Yay!
Yay! I'll put my email in the chat box, and Emily, if you would email me, and then we can get your address to send you our gift, and we'll get that started right away. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that's really exciting. So now if anybody has any questions, it's open to anyone who has any questions, to any of the professors that are still on or any of the panelists. So go ahead and type them into the chat box now, or you can even unmute yourself too and ask. So let's see. So it looks like Holly actually has to go, but she went ahead and left her email in there for anybody who has specific questions regarding what she does. So it is there in the chat box if you guys have any questions for her. So does anyone have any questions for anybody here? Don't be shy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for this informative session. I have a PhD student that she's in Florida and she's looking for an internship. I would like to ask online internship, obviously, she's not in Florida. So I would appreciate that if you can let me know if you have any kind of opening. She can help you in any research, maybe. She's a PhD student in environmental science. I put my email address here. I would appreciate that if you have any kind of opening for her, let me know. Thank you and have a good day, everybody.
Thank you. So we actually do have a question in the chat box. What has been the greatest challenge encountered? And this goes to all three panelists.
Can you restate the question, please?
Yes. So what has been the greatest challenge you've encountered?
As a student, it was organic chemistry for me.
Oh yeah, wait, sorry, I had to go. The greatest challenge I've encountered, honestly, is just marketing myself. I'm also looking for internships, and it's just been marketing myself. And Sasha touched on it earlier, but tailoring my cover letter, my resume to the employer's wants and needs. And yeah, I think all that takes though is kind of just some self-reflection about like why you see yourself qualified for the position, and just equal amounts of time set aside because it's not like a side thing to go out and apply for a job. It's like a whole task that you have to commit to finishing, and giving the same amount of attention to as maybe even one of your classes. I am starting to look. I have a list of all the internships and jobs that I've applied to in the past in an Excel sheet, and it must have been over like 50 in a semester or something like that. Maybe that's something about what I'm doing, but you know, just keep chugging. You know, you can do it.
Michael, what was your like biggest challenge, whether it was a student starting your own company?
Yeah, the biggest challenge as a student for me was very, very difficult to adapt the educational system here. It was the biggest challenge, how everything works with all these credits and requisites, and very, very challenging environment, but I made it. As far as work, biggest challenge is to come every day to work and make company move forward on the mission, what we're doing. It's a great challenge because we pretty much, it's a competition, employees, customers, vendors, you name it. Everybody has objectives, and we need to orchestrate all the incoming inquiries and make it in harmony, move everybody forward and be happy. That's the biggest challenge. And it's not going away. It's every day here.
Thank you. So, let's see. Does anybody else have any other questions? If not, Michael, I have one for you. So how long after like you graduated, like how long after did it take for you to, create your own business?
How long it took me to create my own business?
Yes.
Yeah, after graduation. I pretty much started after graduation on pretty much in the same year, because California offered the interesting opportunity on energy sector deregulation. And I started my own company by registering with California Public Utility Commission, placing bond of $25,000, as I said, from 401k plan. I quit my big corporation. I worked for Raytheon at that time. It is a big defense contractor. And then things start changing, and it was a big roller coaster for me, ups and downs. And energy crisis hit. And then Hurricane Katrina hit very badly California. So it was very, very, it took, I would say, about good 5 to 7 years to pretty much realize you're standing in your both feet and you can move forward. And that's what kind of number I would get, 5 to 7 years. And the more you go, the farther you go, I think that you start getting authority, you're getting attraction, you're getting recognition, you're getting brand, and it helps a lot. You cannot rely on that, but it helps a lot. So customers start calling you, start inviting you on different trade shows, events, speaking, and it's very kind of helping, because your energy over time will not go up. Your energy start going down after, I would say, 50s. I'm a little bit more than 60. I'm 61 now, but after 50, your energy will go down. So your opportunity to grow your business is in that range when you graduate your school and about mid 40s and 50s. And then in decline, you need to stand on the shoulders of your authority and recognition as a company, as a person, as a leader. So it's not coming overnight. You need to work hard day and night, for sleepless nights, and ask your spouse to be patient and supportive, and kids as well.
Thank you. And Michael, we do have another question for you in the chat box. I apologize for the background noise. My dogs are, I don't know what they're barking at. What is the name of your company again, and what has been your biggest accomplishment?
my company is named Three Phases Renewables. We buy and sell renewable power. We sell only electricity in California produced by solar, wind, and geothermal on the renewable energy arena. My biggest accomplishment, we survived competing with big corporations, big utility companies, and utility companies like in the electrical sector, and my competition, most of them are big companies. So I'm proud of that accomplishment. We survived about 20 years in business, and we take a lot of credit, and also proud of what we accomplished. And we keep saying to ourselves and everybody, we pretty much follow our triple bottom line mission, where the profit, planet, and people are in our radar every day. And that's, I think, if we can say and do what you say, I think that's a great accomplishment for us.
Perfect. Let's see. So would any of the AmeriCorps panelists, facilitators like to provide some background on the AmeriCorps program and how it works for those who aren't familiar? So I don't know, Justin, Sasha, do you guys want to go first?
I can go. AmeriCorps, I guess to give some background, AmeriCorps Vista specifically is a national service, and I think it's more geared towards people who were in my position back then. It was aimed towards like newly graduated individuals looking to get an opportunity to get paid while volunteering. And I think their main mission of AmeriCorps Vista, or AmeriCorps in general, was to alleviate poverty in the US. And yeah, the application, I was actually lucky enough to go to a career fair in my college and have AmeriCorps. I talked to the AmeriCorps who had set up a table at my school, and had a chance to talk to them. And in that confusing time of graduation to now grad school, I was really confused about what I wanted to do. And AmeriCorps seemed like the best option for me, because I could use the year of service to get the grant for grad school. And I was also really unsure about what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to help in some way. So I took the opportunity to apply, which wasn't very long. It was a couple of interviews, but really they would appreciate any help. So yeah, that's my take on it, I guess.
I guess piggybacking off of what Justin mentioned. So I also work for AmeriCorps through the Vista program, and working for the Office of Sustainability, and for Dominguez Hills in general. We mainly focus on, giving back to our community, and, helping just like lower income communities come out of that, like providing opportunities, resources, because, we carry those resources here, especially on campus, like Food Recovery Network, sustainability in general is, in general is to help like everybody. So for example, people, planet, profits, that's always stuck with me. So as long as it helps all of those aspects there, it's considered sustainable. So that's kind of like my background to what I do, and like what the Vista program that I work for is about. Sasha, I don't know if you had anything to say for
Yeah, so mine is with the American Conservation Experience ACE, EPIC, and then it's just eligible for the AmeriCorps position, so then I get the money after I complete the internship. But as far as AmeriCorps, no, you guys handled that. I don't know all about that.
That's fine. So does anybody have any other questions for any of the professor panelists or just the alumni panelists who were here today? Going once, going twice. If there's no other questions, we're gonna go ahead and conclude this panel. I wanna thank all of our panelists for joining us today. Thank you so much for making it and making time out of your day to attend. I really appreciate that. Hope everybody has a great day. This was being recorded, so it will be on our sustainability page soon. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye, thank you.